Do you love hiking, getting out in nature, exploring new places and want some inspiration? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Everyday Hiker podcast. My name is Beck and I'm your host. I live in the beautiful South East Queensland region of Australia, so many of the hiking ideas we talk about feature this area, but we've also got some great travel inspiration for you, and I'll feature special guests, practical tips and guides for hiking to share with you. And if you like what you hear, please follow me, share with your friends, rate my podcast and send me your feedback. Okay, welcome everyone to the Everyday Hiker podcast, first episode for 2026. And I'm so excited to be here today because one of my most favourite walks that I've done in the past few years is getting a whole fresh new look, and we're going to hear all about it today with my special guests Bob and Tracy from Trail Trekkers, who are the new hosts of the Great Noosa Trail Walk. So welcome Bob and Tracy.
Thank you, Beck, for having us here this afternoon.
Yeah, great. Appreciate it.
Yep, I can't wait to hear what we've got in store, and if it's more of the same, that's great as well, because we had a really fantastic time a few years ago at this event, but I'm sure you've got lots of new and exciting things to tell us. But before we get into the walk itself, and I'm not sure who I'll throw to here, but if someone wants to take the lead and tell me, who is Trail Trekkers?
Well, let's get Bob to tell us who Trail Trekkers is.
Okay, Trail Trekkers, we're an outdoor adventure business. We have been coaches, we've been trail running coaches, and we were school teachers, but we've transitioned to a business that takes people on overnight hikes and trail running adventures, to be honest. So they're our main focus, but I guess our tagline is explore, connect, breathe, and we really try to live that. It's about getting people out in nature and really enjoying, as you said in your intro, what a fantastic area we have to play in, in South East Queensland and further afield, hopefully.
Yeah, so you're South East Queensland based at the moment, but looking at potentially expanding it as you grow the business.
Absolutely, yes.
And the two of you are both, you said you were teachers and coaches, both trail enthusiasts. Do you run or hike? There are parts of this walk that I can't imagine running, but I'm thinking that Z up the hill. But
yeah. Well, we could try and run up that hill on the second day of the Great Noosa Walk. But, we really enjoy being out trail running, and we've started some trail running groups that we take out. But what we're finding now, as we're ageing,
Not me, Tracy.
trail running can be a little bit trickier on our bodies, so the hiking is much easier for us at the moment. We're enjoying it because we're taking a lot of light gear now. There's so much great gear now. When we used to hike 20 years ago, it was so heavy, but now people can have so much access to it.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what this. And I know we're going to talk. We're going to get stuck into the event next. But the beautiful thing about this event is the community sharing with other people who also like getting outdoors in nature, and a lot of people I think are local and have done it many times. So what happened? How did you come to take this event over?
I might get Tracy to explain that, but it's a bit of a story, and she's done the walk last year.
Yeah, so not last year, the year before. 2023 I did the walk, and I convinced probably about 15 trail trekkers that were following us to come and do it with me. And we all signed up, and it was fantastic. We all just walked at our own pace, little groups, joined together at night. And as we were walking, a few of us said, wouldn't it be great to be one of those trail guides? I mean, maybe next year we could volunteer as trail trekkers and be a trail guide. So we'd already thought about doing this guiding. And then we'd heard that the local community group were no longer going to be able to put it on in 2025. So someone in my trail trekking group sent me an email and said, Tracy, this could be good for trail trekkers. So that's where it started. Someone from Trail Trekkers said, hey, just the thing for you to take this Great Noosa Trail Walk on. So that's where we started talking with the Croy Futures Group, who have been the people for the last few years that have led that walk.
Well, I'm so excited that you've managed to pull it off, because I know that it has an amazing following, and people coming back and doing it year after year, but also for the local communities up there. It's just such a great event, even bringing people in to see these areas. Everybody goes to Noosa, but look at what beautiful area is behind Noosa.
In the hinterland there, it's just gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And so let's get straight into the details. The Great Noosa Trail Walk will be held this year.
This October, yeah. And Bob, give me the date. I think it's the 3rd, 4th and 5th, or 4th, 5th and 6th.
The following year it's the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, I know.
but it's on the website, so you'll get the date there. So you think we'd have that date cemented in our heads because we're organising so much stuff around
absolutely.
it.
And look, for Queenslanders, it's the October long weekend,
Absolutely.
so that makes it easy to remember.
Easy.
And the end of school holidays. So perhaps all those frazzled mums out there can say, right, last weekend, you guys can go home. I'm going to stay in Noosa. And
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So, and let's talk about, it's a 3-day walk, and the total distance is how many Ks?
56 Ks.
Mm-hmm.
So day 1, 23k, day 2, 23k, and then the last day is a nice 10k into Pomona. Just a lovely little walk on the way there.
That is a really nice. In fact, it almost felt too short.
Yeah, you don't want it to
used
end.
to putting that. Yeah, exactly. Really? But you've been used to the big day. So
Yes.
I know that 23Ks might sound daunting at first, but from personal experience, you're walking all day pretty much, and so there's plenty of chances to stop on the way, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but I hope the Rotary ladies are back with their home baked goodies. You can sit down, have a cup of tea and take a really decent break.
And that's one of the special moments on the trail.
That's right.
When you want to look for special moments, that's one of the special moments. Here you are on top of a hill, and there's these ladies and men making cups of tea and having fresh baked goodies. It's just delightful.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing where I'm talking about, where 23Ks really doesn't feel like it, because you're stopping so many times, and from memory you're stopping sort of 3 or 4 times, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
So let's talk about, so it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
That's correct.
Yeah, so it's that Monday being the public holiday, leaving the afternoon as well to get back home. 2 nights.
2 nights.
And it's camping. So tell us about the camping.
It's camping, I know. And you know what? I love camping. I've just found out Beck loves camping.
Yeah.
Bob loves camping.
Yeah,
my son would say 2 days is long enough, too long actually for camping.
Yeah.
He likes 1 day. But, it's so beautiful. You've got all these tents sitting on the oval. You can just see it. It's just under the stars. It is magic, really, it's just beautiful.
And another really great thing about it is that you're not lugging all that, camping gear around. So the beautiful volunteers that take your bag from one campground to the next means that you don't have that extra burden, but you've still got to pack light. We can talk about that.
That's right. Well, what's special about this particular walk, and I don't know in Australia, but this is quite unique, this walk, because to walk from town to town, I don't think there's many where if there is any, actually, this is probably one of the only ones that is in Australia where you can walk from town to town and have your luggage transported and all the logistics taken out, and you're just carrying your day pack.
A bit like a mini Camino walk, really. So you can walk into, a lovely little community and support those communities too, which is a really important part of it for us, because, basically a lot of the communities benefit from this walk and look forward to it for that reason.
That's right, because that's the other thing we should talk about. You're not having to really carry food and drink either. I mean, obviously you're going to have to carry water for when you're walking, but even then there was plenty of opportunity to top up your water. So there's food along the trail, so you're only carrying snacks really.
Yes.
And then there's dinners and breakfasts organised for you. So you're not even having to lug, all your dehydrated meals around and things like that.
And I don't know about you, Beck, but when you did it, and I did it in 24, the food was amazing when you walked into those little towns. Like Kin, we've just been out and seen the Kin ladies out there, and They can't wait for us to come, and this is their major fundraiser for the year. This actually, they told us, this actually pays for their premises and things like that. So it really sets them for the year, this event. So that, and the Koran cutters, when we walk into Koran, it sets them up for the year as well. So that's their major fundraiser.
How fantastic is that? And you're right, the food was fantastic and there was lots of choice. I think there was a barbecue the first night and then you could order different meals at the footy club. But you can have a glass of wine, a cold beer as well.
Absolutely,
Just making it the perfect combo. And I know that when we did it, one of the football finals was on. So there was a big screen going, and then the night before we had some local, a local dance troupe or something in the church hall.
Well, those special things we're hoping to bring back. You know, Bob is mad keen footballer.
Yeah, that's a big one actually.
He's tried to locate all that, but
Yeah, well, even just having it on the big screen to be able to watch it, and I saw lots of people sitting around at their campsites with their phones.
Watching it,
But I can honestly say that our group, when we did it, we didn't take any food apart from snacks, and we didn't eat anything apart from what was provided on the walk. Or, I think we walked into the town and got some cold drinks and coffees and whatever when we arrived or when we were leaving. There really is no need to take all your gear with you, is there?
No, there's not at all. I going back to when I walked it, and it was just lovely in that kin when you'd get up the next morning, have a big breakfast, and then they say, now come and collect your lunch.
Yeah.
And that was really special. I'm not going to tell you all about it because you have to come on it to see it, because the packed lunch that you take was very, very special.
Yeah, it was. Everything about it. So let's talk about the course. Now, I know in years past they switched it up a little bit. Are you going to stick with the traditional, it sounds like, so the first day, so you're going to start from Karoi, go to Kin, then Kin to Koran, then Koran to Pomona.
Pretty much, It's
pretty much the course.
It's the same course as it has traditionally. We bus the folk to Lake McDonald to start with from Karoi, and then they start the walk from there. So Karoi to Kin, camp overnight, then Kin to Koran, camp overnight there, and then walk through to Pomona on the last day. So, it'll be very, very similar.
Okay, and so there's a real variety of environment. There's lakes, as you said. You've got to start with a big lake. And that's got a bit of a wetland area. There's some hills, but they're not too bad. But there are hills. A lot of the trails I really loved were going through private properties. So these are places that you can't walk through normally, except for the fact that you're going on this event.
Yeah, it's very unique. Yeah, we actually go through national parks as well. You go through 2 national parks. It's obviously, as you say, private land and the council land that you're walking through. So, and very pretty. It's all very pretty. We actually went and did the last section a couple of weekends ago on our mountain bikes, actually, just to check it all out. And, that was from Koran through to Pomona, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's really in good condition. It's well maintained, and some special things along the way too. We won't give it all away, but there's so much diversity in that area.
Yes, really. That's right. And what would you say in terms of the sort of people that can do this event? What would you say to a beginner?
Yeah. We do take people on overnight hikes, as we said, so we always say you've got to do some training for an event like this. So,
well, especially if you want to enjoy it. I think we can do these things, if you've got the right mindset, but if you want to really enjoy it and not have the sore feet and the sore legs at the end of each day, you've got to do a little bit of training.
And probably your gear, you've got to put the boots on, walk in the boots you're going to walk regularly, put a pack on, probably some of the clothing that you're going to hike in, so that rubbing and chafing and all that sort of stuff is sorted out well before you come on the hike, so that as Tracy said, you're going to enjoy it. So we can help with that stuff too. Tracy's a pretty good coach, so she can give advice on
Well, a couple of tips I would do. You did really well then, because you know about the boots and the clothing and things like that. A big tip is your boots, if they've been in your cupboard for 10 years, because I've just done this on the Milford track, because I do a lot of trail running, so I use my trail shoes, but I decided to wear my boots because it's a bit wet over there, and walked around comfortable as they're really, really comfortable. But the third day, there was a lot of rain, so it went through a lot of water. So I lost my soles by the end of the walk. So my advice, if you've got old boots, you need to probably get some new ones.
I've got a story about duct tape quickly. I've got a good friend that we walk with many times over the years, and he would always borrow boots for our walks, and it was funny as heck because he'd always, his boots would always fall to pieces. So I always brought duct tape
to fix them up, to repair them.
Every single time I had to fix his boots.
So good shoes.
So try and avoid that, I reckon.
But another tip would be just about 6 weeks prior to the walk, this is what I would do. So you'd be doing quite a few walks each week, but 6 weeks before, I'd make sure I do sort of back-to-back walks, 2 or 3 days where you're actually on your feet for 2 or 3 hours each day, doing some hiking, because you're going to be walking 3 days. So it's really important to do that, but don't do it the week before. You'll be tired. You might have your blisters by then. Do it 6 weeks before, because if you do get blisters, you can work on those and you'll be right for your walk.
So this is a fantastic New Year goal.
Absolutely.
Just set for yourself and say,
yes,
I want, and it's a great way to try it out in your own backyard. I want to give multi-day hiking a go.
Yes.
Like I said, this could not be easier in terms of having your gear transported for you, your meals provided for you. So it's just the can I walk for 3 days? That is the question
Absolutely.
that you need to answer by setting yourself some training and a bit of a goal to get there.
Yeah.
I did an episode last year on trail shoes, which I would refer people to listen to.
Oh, fabulous.
And one of the things that my guest from Wildfire Sports said is that most of the trails in South East Queensland, you don't need boots.
No.
And you'd be better off, wearing, the trail shoes rather than even proper hiking shoes, because they've come so far.
Absolutely, I would agree, because your pack is, you're just having a day pack, so it's not heavy. It's when you've got really heavy packs, you're going through really technical terrain and wet conditions. Yeah,
exactly. And even wet, they
wet,
dry
they
so quickly.
Now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would be something, because this course is not technical,
no.
This at all.
No.
It's just the length, really, isn't it?
That's exactly
and,
right.
And the odd steep hill.
Yeah.
I definitely think it'd be one for poles, for people that are worried about their knees. And
I
things.
did write that down, poles. If you're a person that's got dodgy knees or your tyre, I would get the poles and train with those as well. You can buy some reasonable poles there, You don't have to spend a lot of money on poles, but they're really worthwhile.
Yeah, especially on this one, because you've got that uphill and that downhill.
Yes.
And let's face it, it's probably going to be dry more than wet.
That's exactly right.
It's because of the time of year.
It will absolutely be dry.
We're wishing it will be dry, yes. Manifest it'll be dry.
But even if it's wet, we know how to deal with it. It doesn't set in for days and days.
Yes.
Up here in South East Queensland, it'll probably be sort of short, sharp showers, so nothing a poncho can't handle. So
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Now, cost-wise, have you set a price on it yet? Because it was pretty affordable. And we great value for what it was.
Well, do you know what? We've tried really, really hard to keep it very similar to what it has been in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's $460.
Yeah, that's great
for the 3 days, and that includes all your bus transfers. It includes we're having the guides. People have said, "Are you having trail guides?" Yeah, we're going to have trail guides, because they have been a really lovely addition to this event. So that'll be there as well. You'll have a map. You'll have a briefing each day, each night. You'll get one of our very special Great Noosa Trail Walk buffs to protect your neck, the sun and things like that.
All right, there is a bit of merch for sale too this time.
We've got some merch.
People want to get their,
great
trail work
shirts and caps and so we've got a bit of merch that you can purchase as well.
Now, how many people have you capped it at?
Oh, we've capped it at 240.
So that will sell out really quickly.
Can I tell you, in the first week when we opened the registrations, half the entries were gone.
Wow.
And that's
so I need to get this episode published really quickly.
I'll
so that people aren't listening to it in a month's time going, whoa, I wish I'd known beforehand.
I've missed out.
Which is great because it is a community event and it does support all those businesses. A lot of these funds go to those businesses, so that's what's so great about it and what we liked about it. It's camping, it's for community, and it's really important to that community too. So it's got a pretty high profile, and we want to keep it similar. And the price hasn't actually risen much at all.
It hasn't risen much at all. If the previous hikers will see that. I want to give a big shout out though to Sean. Sean is the person that started this walk about 11 years ago, and we met with him the other week. And what a lovely, lovely man, and what a fabulous vision he had.
And passionate. And passionate about the area. Lives in the area.
I've got goosebumps thinking about the meeting we had with Sean, because he's
fantastic.
Very excited that we've taken it on, and it's still, his legacy is still going to live on.
And we'll dob him in. He's still going to be involved this year in supporting the trail guide. So that's been amazing.
Great. And 240 people, that might sound like a lot, but the reality is it's staggered starts, because you'll get people who like to get up and walk early, so they might get up at 5 a.m. and they can take off if they want to. They're going to miss breakfast. But,
they will miss breakfast, I'll say that.
But, there are also those people who want to have a much more leisurely start.
That's right.
So 240, when you disperse that over, it's starting at whatever time you like, as long as you can get to the next point. So you do obviously have to keep that in mind. But it's not going to feel as though you're hiking with hordes of people.
No.
I think at times, and like I said, I went with a group of 15 people, ladies, and at times I was walking with a friend, and it was just her and I look around, there was no one around us.
Yeah.
So there was times when you're walking and you do disperse over 23 kilometres, and people stop at different spots and all that type of thing. I must say too, if people are worried about toilets, because that can be a problem for hikers, and there is a couple of toilets along the way.
Yes.
So that will help resolve any problems with people that are looking for toilets as they're hiking.
Great.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of rest stops, stops in the shade.
Absolutely.
So my favourite was the watermelon stop with the amazing view. So I hope the watermelon's back, but that's just a selfish request.
You have to put it back in, Trace.
Yeah, I'll write that one down for Beck. Make sure the watermelon's there.
But even just concerns about injuries and that sort of thing, there's plenty of support, and as you said, there's guides all the way along. That if you ran into a problem, that you can flag down and get some help with. And sort of worst case scenario, you're not in the boondocks here. I mean, you could be carted out if the worst happened. Not that I can think of any part of the trail where it would be dangerous enough, but just maybe if you had a sore knee.
And we've got access to a lot of the trail. It's not like it's a remote trail where we have to get a helicopter in to get you out.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It's accessible.
It's very accessible to help people if we need to, but we shouldn't need to.
So I'm going to ask a cheeky question, but people that trying to organise groups. I'm trying to organise a group hike at the moment, and everybody's reluctant to commit to dates. What's the worst case scenario? You book now and someone can't make it.
There is.
That's
so.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a waiver there that says all the terms and conditions of what you can do, and because this sells out, there's often a waiting list. So it's pretty easy to get those. But just look at those terms and conditions, because there's certain times where you can receive your money back, and they're really generous there on how you can do that. Because yes, things happen in life.
Things change.
Yeah, things change. And what I'm going to say to people out there, and we've had it happen to us, if whatever's written there and you need some help, just contact Bob and I, and we'll see what we can do. We'll try really hard to help people out. If
That's
things
fantastic.
change.
I just asked that because this can be something that puts people off because they worry about what if I've locked in. I mean, it feels as though you're locking in 9 or 10 months ahead.
Absolutely.
And what if something changed? So
yes,
it's flexible. There's
to
a point,
a limit of flexibility.
Yeah, of course.
But please though,
reach out
if you've got a question, and we've had some great questions just in the lead up now. Which has been great. And one of the questions which we're sort of looking at the moment is there an option where someone will put up and take down our tents? You know, so this is so we are looking into that. So if you're a person that's thinking, I might like that option, hey, flick us a message and let's see if we've got enough people.
It's definitely a plan for the future.
It's definitely a plan for the future.
Next year, but we have had interest, so we're looking into whether we can add that this year.
Yeah.
Well, 2 of our group, when we went, were from interstate, and that definitely was a challenge for them, you know, how to organise a tent, and luckily between us we could organise another 10. I do want to stress to people listening, though, you really do need a tent, a mattress, and look, a chair's handy, not 100% necessary, but handy.
It helps.
Yes, that's right. So you're sort of looking at a tent, a mat or a mattress and a sleeping bag. It was cool, I remember, at night.
It was cool at night.
So you need your sleeping bag.
And some spray. Some Aussie spray.
Yeah. But in terms of gear that you've got to pack up and have carted for you and what you've got to buy or bring, it's not, you know, particularly onerous. You just don't want to be taking your 12-man tent. You know, you really want a one-person tent with a single mattress.
I think that is very good, Beck, to say that, because we get people to move this equipment, so we've got to really think about the weight that we're putting in, because those fellows that are moving the stuff for us, they can't be lifting 30 kilos to put in the truck to take for us.
You don't need to bring your fireplace, your esky,
your
portable
Not
air conditioner. This is pretty basic camping, and honestly, you'll be so tired from walking that.
You're walking to little towns where there's services and parks and seats. And
exactly. It's just somewhere to put your head down at night, and then when you wake up in the morning, you've got your showers, your toilets, your food, everything taken care of. So it's really about taking the basics. So, and I did say before, I'm just about to do an episode on the latest and greatest and new ultralight hiking gear. So maybe there'll be some ideas in there for what to take, because you want that really basic setup.
That's right. Oh, what a great podcast that will be for the Great Noosa Trail Walk listeners.
You'll work out your shoes and your ultralight hiking gear. So is there anything else you want to tell me about the walk that people should know before we sort of wrap up for the day?
That we're really committed to keeping the format similar, and that we want it to be a success. So we're working really hard to make it the way it was in the past. We've missed a year, but and we have met just about everyone in the community involved in it, and it's been amazing actually, the connections we've made. And we're pretty new to the Sunny Coast, and that we've only moved here this last year. That it's been an amazing opportunity for us to get to know the community. It's been fantastic. So get behind it and support it, and we will have the wait list too, because we realise that it does sell out, and
it's not sold out yet though. So keep your entries coming in.
Absolutely,
and
just get in quick.
Get in quick, because I think in the next month we'll be closing it and maybe taking a wait list. So But I probably should have said back too, for people that are new to hiking, we do offer a one-day hike as well on that weekend.
Yes.
So if you don't want to camp, which is the first day, so you walk from Koroi to Kinkin, and we look after all the logistics of that. So we bus you there, we'll bus you back to Koroi. So there is that option for people that are new to hiking and maybe want to give that distance of 23.
Get a taste of it. Yeah. But, for me, some of the biggest highlights were at night.
It'd be a
shame to miss out on it, but look, each to their own, and that's fantastic that you've got that flexibility to do something on day one. So, well, look, I appreciate both of you, your time to come in today and talk to us about it. I was really keen to promote this walk. I was planning on doing an episode anyway, but I was so excited to think, get it straight from the horse's mouth, because it really is a great event for the South East Queensland region. And you'd be surprised how many Brisbane people haven't been in this Noosa hinterland area. So, this is a great way to get out and explore it. So, before we wrap up, Bob, you were telling me before that you've got another event coming up, and let's just have a quick little promo on that, for people listening who might want to take it the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Well, around the theme of camping, we love camping and we love, spending time with our mates. We are actually launching a new trail running event in the Redlands at Easter this year. So it's called Unbroken.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Wild Earth, the store Wild Earth is sponsoring it. And it's a teams trail marathon. So teams of 4 or teams of 2. There's an ultra option. Mm-hmm. But basically, to cut a long story short, it's a brand new event. We're really keen on doing something different for the trail running community, and we're actually going from here to one of the running groups to promote it. We're on feel like we're on the road a bit promoting these things, but we're really excited about it. We know it's at Easter and some folk go away, but we're thinking eventually it'll grow to something that people look forward to.
Well, this will be your new Easter event on the long weekend where you only have to travel 20 minutes from Brisbane, from the CBD,
I was just about to
actually
say.
run on the trails and not sit in traffic.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
So it's in the Scribbly Gum Trail area.
Great.
Which is a beautiful little set of trails, and it's based at Hilliard State School. So we're going to set up the tents on the oval.
The school oval, yeah.
And we do have the glamping option as well, where people can sort of just have a glamping tent set up for them. So
once again, it's a community support. It's community based. We're helping support the Hilliard State School.
It's a fundraiser for Hilliard State School, actually. So
it's fantastic.
We're going to get that.
What I will do is I'm going to put a link to the Great Noosa Trail Walk and to your website and talking about this event as well.
Right.
But we better wrap up today because we like to keep it nice and tight. So, if we don't take up too much of people's time listening to this, but I'm excited. I knew I'd go over. So I'll look forward to seeing you at the event, and thank you again. Any updates, please share with our community and let us know if there are surprises that you can announce at some stage.
Okay, Thank you, Beck, so much for inviting us today. It's been a pleasure.
No, it's been great to talk to you.
Appreciate it.
And look, thank you everyone for listening as usual. And like I said, I'm back up and running for 2026. So please head to my website, follow the podcast, share on Instagram, any way you can to keep supporting promoting events like this would be really appreciated. So until next time, happy hiking. Look forward to talking to you soon.